We're recording now.
All right, this is the mayor-manager meeting of September 8th, and it's 8:37. Nathaniel Sierra isn't with us this morning, but in the room is Linda Olson, Shawn Lewis, Allison McKinney-Brown, and Jade Tuscott-Reed, right? Is there anybody else? I don't see anybody else. Okay.
All right, we'll start with September 8th. We've got the communications department update, regulations. You need to go over any of these. Okay, can you hear me?
Not very well.
Yeah, I can hardly hear you. I'm sorry.
If I speak up, can you hear me better?
Yeah.
Oh, and I still barely hear you.
Okay, what about now?
Oh, perfect.
Huge difference.
It's just flipping back to the one that you couldn't hear earlier.
I wonder if it wasn't all the way
Mayor,
in.
do you want to go over all of the ones from tonight for tonight, or move on?
Oh, let's not go over tonight.
Okay, great.
Unless there's something that I need to know.
No, I don't think there's anything special tonight. So next week we don't have a meeting, so moving on to September 28th, we will have the financial review.
Don't we have anything on the 21st?
Oh, sorry, I don't know. Thank you. So on September 21st, we have City Center redevelopment update and easement agreement with Colorado Water Conservation Board for Big Dry Creek Diversion Project. Contract approval for permit and land management system. Resolution for Keep Inglewood Beautiful grant. Floodplain language adoption and 2021 public hearing on the budget.
Okay. I'm flipping through this too fast, I think. Can we go back to the beginning of 21st, of this 21st? So there isn't any, it's just the city center development that's on the study session, right?
Right.
Okay. So do you just think 30 minutes for discussion? Or are there some big things that are going to be coming up through this?
I think it's, 30-minute presentations, maybe 30 minutes discussion.
Okay. All right, so the rest of it is just kind of straightforward, right?
I believe so.
All right. 28th.
So moving on to the 28th. We've got the financial review, building and fire code adoption. Any questions on those?
Sorry, I was answering Nathaniel in text. He's still trying to get his son into classroom. I told him not to worry about it. Just, yeah, on the building and fire code adoption stuff, that's a presentation of, those are changes.
Yes, I asked them to highlight changes and then also put before you things that have come to you in the past 12 months that are code related. So for instance, the green building code, which has come up at, I believe, your retreat and maybe one other meeting. And then also you all received emails and there was some correspondence about letting smaller businesses have unisex restrooms, like 2 unisex restrooms instead of gender specific.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the downtown businesses that reached out to you about that. So.
Yeah, and then is there a?
Let me add to that though. It is when these codes are the 2018 formal codes that almost every city adopts. So they're major books, and one of the books is like 400 or 500 pages long. These are not codes that we're going to be able to sit down and read on specifically. The updates, I've been going through the updates and comparing the 2015 updates to the 2018 updates, and I'm not seeing very many changes between 2015 and 2018. So I think actually the presentation is mostly going to be about any changes between 2015 and 2018.
Okay. Oh, Daniel Sierra is now on the mayor manager meeting.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Virtual school must be fun. I have a question about overnight sheltering for severe weather. Has anybody come forward with a proposal? Any of the churches at this point now?
No, I don't believe they have, but let me double check that with our code folks.
Okay. Because I know that Spirit of Hope, and Wellspring swapped buildings, and so Wellspring is not planning on doing that because they have too much evening programming. But it might be that Spirit of Hope is willing to do that over in their new building. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll check on that and see if anything has come through. All right. Do you want to move on to the 5th?
Sure.
All right. October 5th, we have the presentation by the Innovative Housing Concepts. We have, that's the only thing right now on study session. On the consent, possibly, we have approval of the Historic Preservation Commission applying for a $15,000 grant. And we have the 2021 first reading of the budget ordinance. And that's it for October 5th.
So wait, let's go back to the 28th of September for a minute. Will there be more that's going to go in there, do you think? Or what should we move into that? We only have... Or will the financial review just take enough time? Probably. No, that's the August. Yeah, what am I thinking?
Yeah, that's the short one. I think it'll really focus on the building and fire code, but there are some big questions, I think, for council on that, depending on if you want to move in certain directions.
Okay, well, we might want to look at our list of study session topics and see if there's something we want to move in.
Would you like me to go there now?
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that Green City Sustainable Practices, well, a portion of that is the Green Building Code, not as perhaps a mandatory code, but as an optional code. That will come up during your discussion.
And so how does that work? Maybe that's what we need to do, is bring it to us and explain how does that even work?
Yeah, so a lot of times when cities adopt the building and fire codes, they look at, some of there are only a couple, and Inglewood actually has adopted most of the international codes that ICC, the International Code Council, comes out with. But one that we haven't adopted is the Green Building Code. And so that's one that, allows buildings, property owners, building owners, developers to, really put into place, sustainable building practices that are recommended by, the LEED certification process. Some cities do that by incentive. Some cities require it, although it's very uncommon in Colorado for Green Building Code to be a required code for you to follow. But if it's an optional code for you to follow, there are certain offsets that you get in that code. And then again, some cities have opted to do that as like we incentivize it, like you'll get a
Right.
percentage off your permit fee, for instance.
That's what I was thinking it was. So it would be setting up an incentive program to practice.
Right. We would not probably be recommending jumping straight into requiring that code, but certainly either incentive-based or just an optional code would be something to consider.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if we have time, to put it on an agenda, I don't know what other of these are pressing. I mean, youth vaping, we could do something around that too. I don't know what that really is. That would be something where Tri-County would be helpful to bring in at some point. I wonder, in your one-to-ones with the council members, do you want to ask them if they have any that are, we could do it tonight too, although it looks like it's gonna be a long meeting. So I don't know if I want to do that. We can maybe ask on the 20. It doesn't help us if we do it on the 21st.
Yeah, we could we could have that discussion on the 21st, right? Yeah.
But that would mean bringing it on the 28th. That's a pretty quick turnaround, isn't it?
Oh, good point.
Mayor, did you just want to bring it up tonight and just have people review the topics?
Yeah.
Or anything else that they may, yeah, and then that way we can talk about it, or Shawn can actually take polls during the one-on-ones.
Yeah. How long are you gone, Shawn?
I'm not missing any council meetings. I leave at noon on Thursday and return Thursday. Well, I return Wednesday, and we'll be back in the office on Thursday the following week.
Yeah. Okay, so that doesn't really help either to have you do the one-to-ones because you won't have, it'll be too quick. Why don't we ask everybody to just email in like their top choices? Is that okay? And we'll try and work them in and say which ones do you want to go with next.
Sure.
So I'll just tonight.
Jade, can the clerk's office help me with that?
Yeah, certainly.
Thank you.
Would you like the deadline to be set for Friday for them to respond?
Sure.
Sure. That sounds good. Okay, that'll help. All right, you can keep going.
So moving to October 12th, we've only got one thing on the agenda right now, and that's the update to the ethics policy. And then the 19th of October, we've got resolution in support of a ballot measure seeking voter approval for a lodger's sales tax increase. So Allison, we did have some discussion week before last about this one. Is this correct? Insofar as we thought we had already done this.
Okay, so one of the things about doing these ballot measures is letting everybody step through all of the steps of doing an election. And I know that Stephanie hasn't been through one of these as a lead election director before, so I stepped in to help her. But one of the regular steps is that prior to the election, the city council can pass a resolution in support of the ballot measure. It gets published the way any other resolution gets published, but it lets the voters know what it is that the city council is thinking about that particular ballot measure. So that's a common step of the election process.
Thank you. I wasn't, the support of wasn't registering on me. So thank you. Yeah, so you'll have all 4 of those before you, where you can council support or not support those. And then we've got the 2020.
I've never done that before. I'm glad you're doing this.
It's very good. We also have the model traffic code adoption, first reading of that to round out that meeting. And then on the 26th, we just have so far the financial review for September. And then in November, just a couple of items slated so far. We've got Title 7, Chapter 7, Public Aid, Mutual Aid, Emergency Response, Board and Commission interviews, and the financial review for October.
That's good.
The clerk's office, we did want to go ahead and seek some clarification. We were reached out to by communications, and they're wanting to bring framed art. They'd like to do recognition for them, as well as for the 13 people who have been recognized for the Good in Inglewood campaign. They were hoping to do this virtually in late October or November. Would this be something the council would be interested in?
Oh yeah, let's do something that celebrates for sure. It's just, can we just find a date that works well for everybody and has a little lighter schedule?
Yeah. And we can either put it on now, or I can just look at it and get it on there for next time we meet.
Why don't you look at it and think which ones might be? They want it at a regular meeting, obviously, where we do it.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of, we've got the study session on the 26th, even, or the November 9th meeting.
3 hours, that's the,
Oh, right,
yeah,
not that one.
would be November 16th.
November 16th currently has nothing on it.
That-
And that
So
leaves it-
far out. Yeah, let's put it there.
Okay.
But if we see something that comes up, if we see that we have a shorter meeting in October somewhere, let's put it in, because I'd prefer to get it done than wait when we don't know exactly what's going to be put into November.
So our two would be the 5th or the 19th.
Either of them looks fine, doesn't it? We have all those resolutions on the 19th. Let's do it on the 5th.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what those resolutions are going to be like for us at all. I don't think we've ever done it before, so.
So
Somebody car wash? Sounds like someone's at a car wash.
I'm sitting so close to my microphone and screen.
I hear you breathing.
Yeah, probably.
No. So is that it? I think we're kind of done, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Is there anything else, Shawn, that you want to bring up? Like, are there any council requests that were pending still, or seems like everything got done?
I think the only one that is still in progress, well, there are a few in progress, but a couple of them are a little bit older and have taken more time. But your question about revenue, I think we're going to try to do that after the budget, if that's all right with you. But we actually think that should be a study session topic as well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I'll double check with Maria on that. But I think that that's really one of the few outstanding council requests at this time.
All right. Good. Okie doke. Well, it's, I think if there's nothing else, I'll adjourn then. The time is 8:56 and the mayor manager meeting is adjourned. See y'all tonight.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
See you tonight.
Bye.
Bye.